Hello, my name is Mike Toledo. I'm your instructor with denttrainer.com, and we're going to be going over this RAV4 body line. Now, removing a dent against the body line involves reading it correctly. If you notice, this body line is locked up. Above the body line, there's a pinch. That's where we'll be using a tap down to release the pressure. On the outside, if you look closely, there are crowns. And crowns are slightly skinny lines on the outside edges of the dent that slightly raise up. Now, why that happens is because when the metal gets hit, it has to move somewhere. The force of the energy goes to the outside and buckles up. So that's why we call it a crown. It's very important you recognize that, because if you never tap those down, you always see a slight wave and you'll be wondering why you can't get rid of it. So you've got to look outside to make sure you get those crowns down. Now, I'm not going to tap down the crowns as of yet. I'm actually going to take some pressure off the crown first. I'm going to start tapping down, then we're going to push, and then we'll get to the crowns later on. Now, as for the tapping down, I prefer to start with the tap down with a softer tip like so. This tool tip allows me to tap down without causing many lows. If I do make a low, it's easier to correct and push out rather than if I used a sharper tap down and created small micro lows. Now, don't get discouraged if you can't remove the pinch all the way. Your objective is to help relieve pressure little at a time and work another part like the low. It's a give and take technique, and this helps balance your dent. In other words, tap down some of the highs to help lift up some of the lows, and vice versa. I'm going to stop in just a little bit trying to tap down because I don't want to force it. But I really want to concentrate on this area. If I was going to really keep going, I want to get rid of these rings. You see all these little rings right here on the outside of the center pit? That holds a lot of pressure, and that means it's very deep. So I've got to unlock that. The less rings I have around the center, the less deep the pit is. One thing I want to mention is make sure you stay disciplined and use a soft tip at first, especially trying to tap down these sharp edges. If you use a sharp tool, you might create micro lows, and you don't want to do that in this early in the